Welcome back. Galactic Dragon here with another build for Borderlands 4. This time we're doing it up Harlowe style. Ice Storm Trooper Harlowe. Let's check this thing out.
Welcome to the Ice Storm.
So there you go, a build that's fully capable of doing the entire game with a couple really fun weapons, freezing and destroying everything in your path. UVH6, not a problem with Ice Storm Trooper Harlowe. So let's take a look at the build. Primarily for mobbing, you saw it, the amazing Sudden Pursuing Rowdy Rider. We got that Torgue Sticky, shotgun secondary ammo with Daedalus, and Jacob's Ricochet. With those all together, this thing is crazy. Absolutely destroys while mobbing. A pretty good option for bossing if you don't have your bod yet. And just in general, a phenomenal weapon. Clears out the crystals, no problem. Super fast over at the Reaper. I mean, what more can you ask for? Rowdy Rider, super fantastic weapon. And then, our super bossing crusher. We got a Cryo Bod with the Torgue Sticky. And again, we're using that Sniper Daedalus ammunition on the bottom. You can get a slightly better roll than this, but this is a pretty awesome one. I love this one. Good times here. Lots of cryo damage. And we didn't even use this, but of course, you can always use a support drone, increasing your damage, your movement speed, and getting healing. Fantastic, fantastic thing to have in your back pocket here. And if you don't have either of these guns up yet, you can try to get yourself a Rainbow Vomit. Mine here has Cryo, Radiation, and Shock. It does a lot of really good work here too, especially with the Jacob's Ricochet. But again, these are the two that you're going to really want to get for the build. Rowdy Rider here with the Shotgun Daedalus and the Ricochet, and your Cryo Bod. Down here, I'm using a rep kit that has splash damage and elemental affinity, and I am using a suppressor augment amp knife, so we can reduce the amount of damage that any enemies are going to do to us, which is pretty awesome. You know, Harlowe can be a little bit of a glass cannon. Luckily with this build, she's got a lot of toughness, but she can be a little bit weak sometimes, so having that damage reduction there on the knife is pretty fantastic for bossing. Got the damage amp there on the knife as well. Down here, we are using a Graphite Trooper. We got damage dealt and ordnance damage on here. The ordnance damage, not really an issue, but we are using the knife here so that we can just keep on throwing weapons. And honestly, you can put a few other weapons here, but this one is great for utility. I love the throwing knives. But what we're getting here is constantly, with our critical hits, our ordnance is coming back, and whenever we are throwing that knife, we're also getting a massive gun damage, action skill damage boost. And what more can you say? It feeds perfectly into what we're doing here with Ice Storm Trooper Harlowe. Gotta love the class mod. So the Trooper, absolutely fantastic. Now you can get it with some slightly better rolls, but with the damage dealt here, absolutely love this thing. Over here we are Watts for dinner. I'm running this one with a health booster and amp. The amp is really what's important. The health booster kind of nice, pick up a little bit more life here and there. And of course the Watts for dinner shield, when it's active, you get that 12% chance to drop, or to create the overshield drops, and your overshield when it's active, giving you the 25% extra shock damage on top. So again, this is going to be a build with Harlowe where shields are important, but we generate a crazy amount of shields with the build, so you're going to have those up pretty much at all times. Right here we are running a Torg enhancement with explosion and airburst, gun damage, and the splash radius. So this is not a perfect roll, but as you can see, we're already doing fantastic with this one. We got that Exploception, guns with Torg license, sticky magazines doing 50% of gun damage on impact. Very noticeable, especially when you're running the Rowdy Rider. And then Airburst 2, guns with Torg license parts fire projectiles that explode on proximity. We got the gun damage there as well, boosting up our damage with the bod. So, you know, we could get a better one here. You could get a better piece, but again, we're doing fantastic here with this one. So I'm on the lookout, but I don't have it yet. For our firmware, Skillcraft. We're going 3 out of 3 here with Skillcraft. This is a UVH6 build, so we're making use of that. Skill damage being increased by 15%, skill critical chance up by 10%, and whenever we deal skill damage, increasing our skill damage by 2% for 10 seconds, stacking it 25 times. Fantastic with this build, creating a huge amount of damage. And then over here, we've also got Deadeye, gun accuracy, and gun critical damage being increased by 25%. So that's it for the gear. Let's go and take a look at the skills. So here in the green tree, we're going 5 out of 5 momentum. Whenever we entangle an enemy, we deal increased damage. We're doing that constantly, so we're constantly increasing our damage. And over to here, reload speed for each entangled enemy. Really important, otherwise we got, like, you know, a little bit too much time taken on the reload, so I really like that reload speed here. Helps out a lot, especially while mobbing with that Rowdy Rider. Down to here, we've got 3 points into Creative Overflow for more gun damage with the Overshield, and we're going to be getting a lot of that with our Watts for Dinner and our skills. Then going over here to Confirmative Reality, so whenever we shoot an entangled enemy, we all restore a portion of our action skill cooldown. As soon as you fire this thing, basically, you crit somebody 2, 3 maybe times with the guns that we're using, and you immediately have the action skill back. It comes back so fast, it's absolutely crazy. Down to here, we got 5 out of 5 in Decoherence to increase damage to enemies that are entangled. 1 over here in Refraction to give us a little bit of a ricochet chance. It's a little bit more of a ricochet chance here than with just the Jacob's Critical, so this helps out as well. And then over here, 5 out of 5 in Excited State, gaining in our critical hit damage again. And whenever an enemy is damaged by our action skill, the next shot will be an automatic critical. So they can get hurt by the action skill that we're using. Even though it's group study, when enemies get close, they can still get hit by this. So this does help out, but this thing is just fantastic. We'll be going over our action skill here in a minute. Finishing off the tree, we've got 5 points over here in Parallel Circuit, and 1 point here in Make It Extraordinary, so that we can critical hit with all of our skills. I love that. I pretty much put it on every Harlowe build, just putting that critical hit chance on all skills. Absolutely freaking awesome. Over here, 10 points spent on this tree. We're going for Fire Rate here with Cyclotron, and again, increased reload speed with Bleeding Edge. Now, you can move these around if you want to, but I really like the reload speed. I feel like it makes a major difference on the build because we're going to be getting a lot of our damage from other places as well. Over here, we've got the Flux Generator. When we trigger this thing, we're going to throw our Flux Generator in front of us, and we're changing it over to the Halo Sidekick so that we get this for ourselves and for each of our allies. Halo Sidekicks automatically fly to each ally, hover near them, granting them gun damage, fire rate, and reload speed. Every time you re-trigger it, you increase these effects, the effect stacks, and when overloaded, you are burning through it faster. But check it out, 25% additional gun damage per activation. Before a boss fight, you can trigger this thing sometimes up to 5 times before you go in, and you're going to have massive, massive additional gun damage with this thing. And even though it might be a little bit short-lived, you can take that boss down in absolutely no time flat like we've seen in the demonstration earlier. Over here, we are taking Nuclear Winter so that whenever we're inside the Flux Generator's radius, we're dealing additional cryo damage, and anytime we're outside of it, we can get some additional radiation damage. Absolutely love this group study here. Such a good skill. Moving on to the specializations, we've gone down 20 points in Survivor so that we can grab Bullets Are Scared of Me and the Best Defense, again boosting damage one more time with shields up and damage reduction with shields up. Then coming down here, 20 in Brute so that we can grab Riddle You This, stacking up gun damage every time we do gun damage. And then over here, we're coming down in the zone so that if we go ADS, we can do even more damage just by holding an ADS. If you ever find yourself somehow falling off on damage, you can add even more here by holding ADS. And that is giving us access to Killer, and we're just putting some points in here for critical hit damage. So one other thing to go over with this build is how to use it for bossing for maximum efficiency. So I just want to show kind of what you're doing here. You're going to obviously use your action skill, of course, so that we can get more damage. But each time we re-trigger it, we're going to be getting stacking amounts of gun damage added. So you want to trigger it 2-3 times before a boss at least, sometimes 4 times. Then we're going to be using our rep kit there to boost our damage. Throw that. That was, of course, our ordnance. And you see that's down now. But basically those ones that we shot there, they were massively overpowered and they would have taken out a boss, no problem. And then, of course, we don't have an entangled enemy right now to just get our action skill back, but most times we do. And that's just the rotation for it. You just spam your action skill a few times, stack it on up so that your damage gets through the roof for gun damage, throw a knife, and then as you're shooting, those hits that you get with your gun are going to start giving you the knife back, so you can just be like spamming the knife too if you want to. And boom, here it is. Fire rate is going to go up, damage is going to go up. You're going to go like this, you're going to go like this, you can throw the knife if you've got the enemy out in front of you, but like I said, usually like 3 times before you get into the boss arena is the best choice. You can do it on the way in if you want to. And then like, that's just insane damage. It will blow your mind how much damage you're doing. And of course, like I said, if for some reason the boss doesn't die, he's entangled at that point, and you'll get your action skill back right away and go for another cycle of that. All right, friends. So that is Ice Stormtrooper Harlowe. Hope you like the build. This thing is a monster. I'm having a ton of fun with it. Just as powerful and as potent as my Vexna build. And honestly, maybe a little bit more versatile. I don't know. I'm having a lot of fun with it. Hope you enjoy it too. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next time. Peace out and happy gaming.
Ladies and gentlemen, and people all around the world, it's Galactic Dragon.